Hello, hello. Hold on, I'm a little bit cold. I need to grab a jacket. Although I think my voice is kind of picked up. Although when I'm far from the mic, it does get really quiet. Okay, almost ready. So last time we connected all the fuel, and then we played a little bit yesterday where I went and saved a few entities. Wasn't wasn't a big change, but it is something that was done. Is there sound? Yes, there is. And then right now we have the train set up as a 1-3-1, but theoretically it looks like I want to have it set up as a theoretically it looks like I want to have it set up as like a 1, I don't know, 2-1. Oh, wait a minute. This is risky. Oh, this doesn't work. Maybe that's why I have so many inserters. This is technically an unsafe design. It is an easy fix to make it safe though, so maybe I should just do that. So right now we're sending copper to the train, and that has the sole purpose of disabling the train outpost. So whenever it first gets a delivery, it will unload copper, and that'll just, tell it to turn off. Now we can also disable it using any of these resources, but the disadvantage of doing that is that these can be consumed, and ideally we want them to be consumed fully. So there's less waste. So marking it with something like this is a little bit better, because we know that's not going to be removed, which would then re-enable the outpost, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would summon another. Actually, no, it might be in the world. It could actually completely soft lock things. So yeah, it would be really bad. So that's what the copper is all about, but it's not designed in a way that is entirely safe. So I feel like I should actually set it up. Let's see, which layer is it? Oh, this is an early layer. Okay. That is not the right thing. I do that one a lot. Pull up that stage tool. Okay. So this is now a safe design, assuming that the train can actually fit. Okay. So this is the same end result. Now it looks like I did want this coal to make it up there as well. But yeah, this is the same effect, but this is no longer self-feeding, which means it is significantly more safe. Now technically there are some extreme scenarios where this could die, but that is incredibly unlikely with not self-feeding here and then also a self-feeding backup. So yeah, it should be okay. I mean, it's as safe as any design I normally make. Like, I generally consider 2 inserters grabbing from the same belt to be pretty safe. It is extremely rare for that to cause a brownout. You have to get fuel so rarely for that to be an issue. Now, it can technically happen, but if we want to avoid that completely in all our designs, that makes the base way larger and way more expensive. So that one's a risk we had to accept. Okay. So we have a bunch of small to-do lists that we have to take care of. So right side field compressor. And then we also have to check to make sure I don't have any notes. Because sometimes I write stuff under the task list, which just kind of helps me keep track of things. I wonder if there's like a mass expand. Nah, it looks like I'll just have to click on details each time. Yeah, like right there. If I expand that, I have some details, which just help me put more stuff without having a bunch of different tasks. Okay, so beacons, concrete, right side fuel compressor. This one is done. Perfect. Sulfuric acid to blue chips. So we did that for the first one. I don't know if we did that for the second one. So those are over here. Also, I'm going to turn off the blinking because I'm realizing they're really annoying. There's a reason we have them disabled. Okay, so sulfuric acid. Considering this belt is such a weird spot, it makes me think it's connected. No. Oh no, that's just going to batteries. Okay. It looks like we still have an infinity pipe over there. Okay, so blue chips are here. This one also is not connected yet. Okay. So we have blue chips here, here, and then much farther down the line, we have blue chips here. Okay, so pressure-wise, I don't think we're ever going to have a problem with blue chips. I think somebody pointed out Factorio fluids? Fluid throughput? Like, someone pointed me to a table that shows, like, how many pipes you can have in a row at, like, a certain pressure. It's like 1200 can do, like, 17 pipes, which is really not that many. Although that might also need pumps, I'm not sure. But yeah, the flow route gets pretty small pretty fast. But then it kind of like flattens out. Because then you get up to like 100 at like 1,000, 500 at like 400 pipe. Like, it's fairly reasonable. So it looks like we only have 100 total sulfuric acid. So I don't think pressure will ever be a problem. So I think we can connect our pipe however we want. Obviously, we want it to be shorter because it's cheaper. But if we have to go around, the world doesn't end. Because basically we have sulfuric acid connected manually to this original blue chip build. Way down here. Actually, wait, no, never mind. We don't have it. Sorry, not manual blue chip build. Manual battery build. And then after that, the rest of it is built by bots. So I believe we connected this one. So if I follow this, it should take me all the way through to batteries. And then it should also take me to blue chips. Have I not connected blue chips? Wait. Do we only have one blue chip build? No, we have this one. Okay, so it looks like we never connected either of the blue chip builds. So I think connecting them through this side is the easiest. We mentioned it the other day that doing the pipes after we've done all the fuel connections is going to be pretty easy. And looking at all these gaps, I think that is fairly true. Because underground pipes can go pretty far. I think they can go about as far as like a blue pipe, right? Or a blue belt. Oh, longer than a blue belt. So yeah, they shouldn't have any trouble making their way through there. So we also need to cut through like our entire base to get up there. Farther? Yeah. Is it just one tile more? Or is it more? I guess it says 9. I can never remember if that includes the underground or not, but I guess it would include it for both. Okay, so it is farther. Cool. So this needs to go here, which is mostly just a straight belt, a straight pipe up. That's not awful, right? Ah, that is unfortunate. Oh, we also need to build it on the right layer. Hold on. let's actually switch to the correct layer and not build it in map mode so it's easier when we switch. Okay, so sulfuric acid. The underpipes are so cheap, but we might as well build them at the layer that they're needed, which is here. Okay, I think when I do the layers, they're definitely going to be... So the way I'm looking at it right now when I do the stages, I think they're going to be pretty arbitrary. Distinctions between the stages. Because right now, I think the setup is decent. We just have to break each stage into like 20 more stages. Something like that. It's a pretty large... not 20 more. A bunch more stages. I have no idea why I said 20. But yeah, we'll need to separate the stages we have. I think there's a couple things that I would like to move to a completely different stage. But because of how the fueling works, that's a little bit tricky. But we'll do what we can. We obviously want to do that before we start like actually staging it. The main thing though is to just make it that the stages are not as massive as they are. It's like they are a little bit flexible. They just can't be as awful as it is right now. Okay, I thought this would be able to cut through, but... Okay, it looks like we can cut through this middle. We just have to use an extra entity. So this is stage 3.2. So let's move this forward and place it here instead. Okay, so that's not too bad. I'm kind of regretting my choice to go straight through, but that's okay. And then we'll keep exactly 200, and then we'll keep exactly 100 of these. And then we still need to clear these blueprints. That's never happening. Okay. There we go. Now we're okay. Now we're pretty close. It looks a lot less bleak now that we're actually kind of nearing it. I don't know why I said bleak. It's not like it's like hopeless or like a lost cause or anything. It's connecting pipes in Factorio. There we go. Okay, so that's connected. And now the easy part, theoretically, should be connecting through the sides. Okay, yeah, I think I was right. This is the easy part. Okay, now it has to shift over. So we might as well do it somewhere else. So that would shift. Oh. Okay. Less easy than I thought. But we don't need these until stage 4.2. So that gives me more visibility of what I'm building. So that's good. Now we're actually going to force delete this one. Because now we're getting to this mess. So it's not... I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's definitely messier than I thought. Because we have to go through this section. But on the bright side... And then we missed the corner, right? Yeah, we missed the corner. But on the bright side, none of these can like cause any belt weaving issues because they're pipes. So that's something. TM. always gotta take what we can get, right? With burner inserters. Although this one doesn't actually have to do with burner inserters. This just has to do with our base being larger than we're used to. So I'm not used to connecting pipes so far. But yeah, we should be able to make a pipe section that's pretty long before we have any problems with pressure. At least that's what I'm banking on. Because we really only have a total of like 120 sulfuric acid or something. It's incredibly small. So now if we follow the pipe, now that there's actually liquid in it, we should be able to see if there's any connections. We really should have... Honestly, I was going to say maybe we should have done the fluids ahead of time so we could have been following it as we built it, but that actually allows things to be like half filled. If you like make an error and then do this, place something in the same direction and stop the pipe, it actually gives you a false idea of building correctly. So I think, I think this is actually pretty good. Okay, that seems all right. That connects through, that goes through to the original batteries, I'm assuming. What does this? Oh, right. I forgot about our small, I forgot about our small blue chip production. I was thinking we had earlier blue chips than this large build, and we do. It's just, they don't do much. They're just to give us exoskeletons. If throughput is less than 500 in a segment, then distance almost doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, yeah, we should have more than enough then. Because we basically... I think the total consumption in our base is like 125 sulfuric acid per second. So yeah, if it doesn't... It's definitely not going to matter within the confines of this base then. Now, if we were going like all the way across the map, it might, but... Yeah, this base is very, very, very small for the amount of sulfuric acid we have. Okay, so the issue with our calculations, not with our calculations of how much we need, but how much we're producing, is that these are inserter limited. So these don't run full speed until we have yellow science research. Right? Hold on. Is it yellow science or is it purple? Stack size. It's really only when you go above 100, 800 that most problems start to show. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I might lazily design my oil and water sections around 800 water so I don't have to worry about pressure. Because honestly, I feel like pipes are easier for me to get than pumps to make things a little bit better. But yeah, basically these inserters can't move that fast. So the assumption that I have in my calculations, or by the rate calculator, is that these can produce full speed. Now, I know we need 124. Again, also basing it off of full speed, though. I think we're just gonna have to try it empirically. Because this is tricky. Also, this doesn't get nearly enough sulfur, so let's assume it gets an entire belt of sulfur, right? That's the best case scenario, which means this would need to become... Okay, so that's producing 12, but it's actually not. Why do I have fast inserters in these? I guess they technically can produce full speed. So the issue is that this would actually need a side load. But this, oh, this is hand built. Should I do this with a red belt? It might be worth doing this with a red belt. Because some of this goes into science, which is probably pretty small. Oh, 0.45, never mind. We're totally fine. Also, we have a larger... I just remembered, we have a larger purple science build. Where do I get the sulfur for this? I don't remember setting up sulfur production. Huh. Wait a minute. Did we not do that? Or did we get sulfur from somewhere else? Because this is, yeah, this is important. This is important. I don't remember if we set up sulfur production or if we were just spawning it in. Okay, so this is a pipe. Or sorry, this is a belt. Am I looking at the wrong belt? Okay, it must be on this one. Okay. We are producing more sulfur. Okay, we're good. Honestly, it probably would be better to just make new sulfuric acid elsewhere. I guess if we do have sulfuric acid issues, we can produce some here. It would be easy enough, I think. We have iron in a weird spot, but I'm pretty sure we have iron somewhere. Actually, iron's not really that nearby. We could take it from here somehow. Like, we could put one more furnace, technically, and supply another sulfuric acid assembler. That's not the end of the world, but really we just have to do math. So... This isn't using most of our sulfuric acid, darn it. Okay, so... These are running half speed, I know that much. So if these are running half speed, then we can make the assumption that we're not using 8. So that's 8. This is 32, so half speed. That means those are using 20 per second, which means 100 of our production goes into batteries. Now, batteries do run full speed. So, unfortunately... Actually, wait, where... Hold on, what am I missing? I'm definitely missing something, right? When I go over my whole base, it says we're consuming 120. What am I missing? Right? Inputs. Yeah, 120. Produced. Or sorry, yeah. This is how much we've produced. This is how much we're consuming. This is the difference between those two. And this is, I guess, the average rate per machine. I don't know I don't think that one's that useful. So, where does this number come from? Why is that number so high? Because we've highlighted all of the battery assemblers, right? Do I have like a secret? Oh my gosh, I forgot accumulators use a lot of battery. Okay, so that would explain it. So yeah, we don't have enough sulfuric acid. I don't think. Because these are not running... these aren't running full speed enough for that. So let's assume that we can take from the whole belt. That's a fair assumption. So that's 12.75 divided by 7.5 is the ratio. So that's 70% off. So we're actually only producing about 83 sulfuric acid per second. Okay, so we need to double it. That's not great. Okay. And that's assuming these run full speed, which technically they don't, but honestly, we have half the sulfuric acid we need anyway. Our numbers are already off. How much iron do we need to double that? So we need 2.5 iron per second total. So I'd say if we get like 1.2 more iron per second, we should be good. So that's fairly reasonable. 1.2 iron per second. That's a single furnace, right? We can run a single furnace. Wow, they use such a little iron compared to the sulfur. Okay. So we have water, we can get iron. This isn't something viable to expand because this is done by bots. So our next source of sulfur is up here. So I think we could very realistically expand this a little bit if we need. Although looking at those numbers, 3.8. This consumes 1.3. I have no idea why I'm producing so much, but I guess honestly that's not really worth my time to try to maximize that one. Cleanup tool, interesting. I'm glad this is still conflicting, even though there's actually nothing there. Hello, Shadow, welcome. Now I'm realizing now I am underproducing sulfur by about 50% due to inserter speed limitations, so trying to fix that now. So easiest thing, we need water, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but we can technically... Yeah, we can get water from here. Okay. I think I see the line. So we move this up. Move this to a different stage. And the reason we're doing the 2 undergrounds here is just to prevent mixing. Although that didn't actually work. Oh, wait. We can go directly into this. Okay. That works. Okay, so now we can prevent mixing. Awesome. Now we can connect the water, which is a little bit weird, but you know, we've done worse things with burners. Okay, so water's good. Am I fine with this spot? Yeah, this spot's fully done. Yeah, we should be fine. I think this spot is. I think I'm happy with this spot. If I'm not, it's too late. We're stuck. We're stuck with it now. It's really weird using prod mods everywhere. Like I've never prod modded plastic before. I don't really prod mod plastic much, but with burner inserters everywhere you're so inserter limited that prod mods are usually nice because they just help you keep up with the input speeds. I guess that's less relevant here, but it's very relevant with like green chips and stuff. Like you can't run a green chip assembler full speed. Like you might as well have the prods. You're not getting enough wire to keep it running. Not without a lot of space. A lot more space than it's worth. Okay, free entity, sure, why not? Okay. So we need... Well, this is tricky because these won't run full speed. We need 4 of these. Okay, so theoretically we need 4. They're really nice, yeah. Like over time they're nice. It's just plastic is so cheap that for the most part you don't care that much about it. The cost of it. At least not for a while. Not until you get to like a really large base. But because they're so cheap, the payback time for it is just incredibly high. I guess these can actually be built pretty late, like 4.2. But yeah, once you get to like a mega base and you're just like waiting, things eventually pay for themselves. No matter how expensive they are, prod mods will always pay for themselves. How do I do this? This is not as This is okay. I'm gonna be honest. This is way less space than I thought I had to work with. I think our best bet is actually going to be to pass this belt through to the bottom, because that's the only way I can really fit things here, which isn't a problem. That's really easy to do. No, it's not. Okay, so we can afford red belts if we need it. So we will use the one red belt we can to belt weave past this. I think that's the strat. Sorry, the two red belt we need. Yeah, okay, I can live with that. It's a little bit weird. I don't love it, but that's a lot of our designs at the end of the day. We just have to accept that they're going to be more expensive than we want because burner inserters are terrible. I can write I'll be able to write a whole novel about how bad burner inserters are after this. Just more limitations we keep running into. Okay, so that gives us a lot more space to work with. Okay, so this will work. You know, we might have been able to avoid that, but we didn't really need to, so I didn't want to spend too much time trying to like make that to save that tile. Okay, so those are connected, those are connected, those are connected. I'm so glad we don't need solid inputs here. That would be awful. Okay, so now the issue is that these are actually too close to each other to do enough output. So I probably should have made one at a time. These actually need a gap of 2 tiles, I think. Actually, it depends how I want the fueling. No, they need a gap of 3? Okay, they need an uneven gap. Okay, so it's... No, it is 2. It's exactly 2. Okay. Now, we only need half a belt, so theoretically... The easiest way to do this is with a splitter. But the issue with splitters is their unsafe design. So we actually need to take a different approach, which I don't love, but it is what has to be done. So we have to do a snake. And normally I love the snakes. It's just we don't have a ton of... We have a weird spacing here because of the train. So output, output, output. So yeah, we need to snake the way through here, because obviously the easiest way would be to have a splitter here, but this inserter will almost guarantee die. It is not brownout proof, and because it's a splitter, it's not something we can easily put on logic either. So yeah, we just have to snake it. If I spread them out one tile, I could snake... Yeah, if I spread them each one tile apart, it doesn't use any more entities. That might work. Isn't that belt by the one that tracks coal? This doesn't... Is that what you mean? This one currently is not a belt that tracks the amount of coals on the belt. If that's what you meant. But we can do this. Okay, I think this works. Yeah, okay. Oh, you just mean taking from this? Yeah, I could take from that as well. Wonder which one's easier. I wasn't sure if this one was built right away. Because I know we have some weirdness with this one. But yeah, we could probably use that. Which is fewer entities? Yeah, probably taken from the top. Does this get enough? Theoretically, it might. We have some weirdness with this lane. But I guess the amount of coal this uses is pretty small, right? So yeah, we can just do straight belt all the way through. And then we'll replace splitters as we go. Okay. Original design would be connecting here and here. I don't know why I said original design. That wasn't the original. That wasn't the original design at all. Okay, and then stagger every 2 tiles. We need a splitter here. This is 4.1, and it goes down. Okay, this is safe. I think this is considered safe. Yeah, it should be. Belt, belt, and water belt. I don't know why I said belt, belt, but pipe. Pipe and pipe. There we go. Okay, I guess for this section, it actually would be easier for me to just build all of it and then move it down a layer. Because that way I can copy and paste it a lot easier. So this would go here. This would go here. Technically, I could just have a splitter here, spacing-wise. Original, also known as the new original. Yeah, I think we might have been fudging the definition of original a little bit there, but I mean, when haven't we done that? We just make up words here. Okay, so now we can take this and we can shift it to the current stage. There we go. Oh yeah, that was way better than trying to go back and forth as I built it. Okay, so theoretically this is enough. If I really wanted to, I could replace some of these with speed modules, and then I don't know if that would do much, but I could. But yeah, I could theoretically replace some of these with speed modules, which would let me get more out of it if I also wanted to do like a side load, because I think we could do a side load somehow. We might have to go through the track and then back down if we want to do a side load. But I think we have enough sulfuric acid with this. So now the real question is, how the heck do we get iron? So we have iron here, a little bit of spare iron here, and we just need to get it up here. Or we have this one, which also, same thing. I think the easiest way that I see right now is this. Productivity is probably better, a little bit safer as it slows down the machine, which reduces the burner's use of coal. I mean, that's not a huge concern. The burner use of coal, anytime I'm like worried about taking coal from a line, it's very rarely because of the inserters. It's usually just because of the added delay of filling up the belts. But with this setup, the amount filled up in the belts is pretty small. It's like an extra 20 belt or something. Or not 20 belt. Well, yeah, it's like an extra 20 belt and times 8, so like 100 coal. But yeah, on average, these consume 0.001 coal per second or 0.0001 coal per second. It's not a huge issue. So that's nice, right? Our burners might have a lot of issues, but at least that isn't one of them. Okay, I think that works. And then if we shift this over, we could actually design this the same way. Actually, no, we can't because of spacing. Perfect. Okay. That should be more than enough. Now, we need to get this iron over here, which is not happening in an elegant way, is it? This looks like a problem for belt weaving. I think this is a belt weaving sort of. This is a belt weaving sort of day. We made sure to avoid it because it is expensive, right? We don't want to belt weave when there's a really easy option to get around it. But now that we're like trying to add things we missed. So it's a little bit late to completely avoid belt weaving. So let's see. We actually, now that I've built this, can an underbelt go through? It can actually. It can actually go through. So we can piggyback off of this belt for the iron. That's the rate calculator again. And then the iron we left here. Okay, so if we can get this over here, I think we're good. Which I feel like we should be able to do. We just need to move this over. I see your line. I don't like it, but that is a line that works. Another option would be to sideload it earlier, which doesn't do a ton, but it does do a little bit. Honestly, this isn't that bad. It feels awful, but it's really not. I don't think it's as nearly as bad as it looks. That can't do that. We have broken the mod so many times because of that, and I think we fixed it too late, but oh well. Oh well. I think those mistakes clear themselves fairly easily. Okay, so this is a belt that supposedly has plastic on it. So it needs to end up over here. And we're going through the middle, which this is going to be a... I feel like I can get past this without belt weaving. Right? Yeah, okay, I can get past this one without belt weaving. Perfect. Okay. And then this is where the iron connects. I don't know what this belt is. This belt seems important. That's not connected right, I don't think. I don't know which belt is which. This? I think that's right. I think we just connected this belt to the wrong one initially. It's really hard to tell because there's nothing on the belt. So this is a pure plastic belt. Okay, so we know that much. This one is pure plastic. Where is the sulfur belt? So this one's the sulfur, which goes down, up, through... Oh, wait, no, this is the sulfur plastic belt. Oh, this is a different belt because of the belt weaving. Yeah, that's why I try to avoid belt weaving if I can, because it makes it really hard to follow the belts. Okay, so this is the correct one. It goes here. And then this one looks like it's going to be a pure wire belt. That seems reasonable. I can live with that. Look at that, free entities. Woo. Okay. I think we figured it out. And then the iron belt now is this one. Perfect. Okay, so theoretically, having the iron on a different belt than the sulfur is better for burner inserter throughput. However, it's only like 15% better, so I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's way harder to set up than it's worth, so let's not worry about that. Yeah, because then you have to worry about 2 inputs, which is very tricky with burners. So yeah, let's not do that. I would much rather have that. Well, sorry, not 2 inputs, but two different sides of inputs, which complicates things. Mostly because we don't really have... We're not flexible on space right now, because this design was a little bit of an afterthought. Okay, so that should work. We need to get water and sulfuric acid, but that's... I don't think that's going to be too bad. I think sulfuric acid we should just maybe pull out of the top. That should be fine. And then I could shift these over, but I don't think I need to. This spacing seems all right. Now I need to do this again and delete them. We're going to put them on a different stage because that seemed to work pretty well. Okay, so same design. I think this actually worked really well with how to get coal over here. It was a very, very short stretch. This is the only time we've used the coal grid in a while, actually. Or the first time we've used the coal grid in a while. And it's definitely the first time it's ever been this compact. Because usually the coal grid is a bit on the large side. Because you need to make so much of it to make it worth it. But since the coal's already here, it just feels weird making it short. Okay, so if we force a side load, then we can side load up there. So that way we get some iron. Now the place that we're getting iron from, we're actually kind of pushing it. We barely have that iron to spare. It's not great, but barely means we technically have enough. And then productivity modules in here. Yeah, we'll need power poles, but power poles will never have to worry about fitting. There will always be space for them. So we just, we'll go through and we'll place them all at the end. But it's way easier to route a belt without power poles than it is to have the power poles already placed. So, and I can pretty much guarantee there's going to be no spot where we can't find a spot for power poles. Am I allowed to use nuclear? Technically, yes, if I could mine it. But since I can't mine it, no. Since I can't mine uranium, I'm not allowed to use it. If I could mine uranium with burner drills, it would 100% be allowed. So it's not like strictly forbidden, but it's forbidden as a result of the burner drill only section. The only power poles that matter now are if they're used with logic. Exactly. Which we don't normally have to pass logic through a power pole, but we do have a couple of them, mostly in the outpost. Okay, so these can now be moved back to stage 4.1. Yeah, I feel like I've seen mods that let you do it. Maybe not. Maybe I made that up. Maybe I imagined it. But I feel like it is something that could almost work, but unfortunately doesn't quite. Okay, so this sulfuric acid needs to go to one of many sulfuric acid spots, actually. We can meet up down here, or we can meet up at the side. I feel like meeting up at the side is definitely the easiest. But yeah, I feel like I've seen a burner drill mining sulfuric acid at some point in my life, but it could be something I've completely made up. I would buy that as well, but I feel like I've definitely seen it in something. This is all built on the wrong layer. Just what I wanted. It's so easy to accidentally build on the wrong layer, though. Okay, that's a little bit messy, but it's not too bad. Ooh, I don't think I want to mess too much with these, because these might be on an earlier layer than I'm thinking. So I'm just going to do it manually, one by one. There we go. Okay. So sulfuric acid should be good now. We accidentally double pasted. Okay. Now to do a test. So that says it produces 190 with 17 sulfuric acid. We don't, with 17 sulfur. We don't have that much sulfur. So 170 times 7.5 divided by 17 will give us a more accurate number, which is 80. That is more than enough. Okay, we only needed about an additional 70. Okay, I say more than enough, like I have like plenty of wiggle room. It's not that much wiggle room. Yeah, we have 80 from here, 70 from the other one, roughly. We should be fine. And I am making the assumption that these can move about 8 items per second. So each one of these is 1.6, and that is 8 inserters. So 8 times 1.6. Inserter throughput is fine. If the patch is mixed, then you can place a burner on 2 kinds of ore and it won't mine uranium, which is useful in danger ores. I read that, at first glance, I read that as it's useful but dangerous, and was very confused how it could be dangerous. How is that helpful in how's that helpful in dangerous or danger ores? Is there a reason to not want to mine uranium in that? Okay, I think this is fine. We got more sulfuric. So now pressure definitely won't be a problem, because now it's like 10 times closer. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I feel like we probably should have just built it up here and had a much easier time, but yeah, whatever. It's not like it was difficult to place it in here. The hardest part was just getting the pipes through. This is a complete mess, and if any of these are if any of these are wrong, we are absolutely doomed. I can't wait for troubleshooting day, where we just at least get like a general idea of if things are connected properly. That will be fun. We also need to figure out how we do these with red belt. So we need to upgrade our starter base at some point with red belt. But the issue with that is it makes it that the blueprints will have conflicts. But I never want to hold shift to place, because if I hold shift to, well, I guess I'll need to hold shift to, if I hold shift to place, it means I can place my base in a wrong spot. If I never hold shift to place, I can be safe forever. So it's one of those things where if I have this with a very specific upgrade path and place it very carefully, I never have to hold shift, but I'm terrified to do that. That coal line, you think making it where we did is better? Oh, that's true. If we made it up there, we would have had a much harder time with the coal, which would have honestly been way harder to do than routing the pipes once. In the start, you don't have sulfur, so eventually an electric miner would get stuck trying to mine uranium. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And you want to be able to keep mining stuff. Okay, that tracks. Yeah, I guess the only alternative is your miners just stop randomly, which would not be good. But yeah, basically we need to upgrade these to red belts at some point, and red belt will conflict with blue belt in the blueprints, or yellow belt will conflict with red belt in the blueprints. So we need to somehow upgrade a second stage, or maybe I'll make it with red belt, and then in the original stage I'll downgrade it. I don't really know how that will work. Because obviously I want the fewest amount of blueprints to have conflicts, right? So if I build all of them around this belt being red, then I only have to manually fix one stage, which will be as simple as just running a downgrade planner on it. Actually, I won't even have to do that. Yeah, no, never mind. That's not too bad. The only reason I would have to run a downgrade planner is if I want queue picking to be easy. So you could do the typical thing of having a pair of empty circuits on a belt marking the stop. Oh, wait, what is this? Is that what they do? Is that what they do in Hundo? Upgrade the whole rectangle. So that's not an option, because we can't have red belt where we don't strictly need it with burner inserters because they're so bad. If we upgrade the whole rectangle, we place red belt that will kill inserters as opposed to red belt that won't. So it's not that great. So like we can have red belt here, but we can't have red belt here, because the saturation is high here, the saturation is low here, so red belt just would destroy the lane. See, there's a pair of circuits on the belt that do nothing. They're just there to go, hey, red belt, start, stop here. Okay, I didn't know that. I knew they had one section where circuits were on the belt, but that was just to say, hey, stop the belt, but it was actually functional. So theoretically, I would want the red belt to stop probably here, give it a little bit of leniency. So literally just this copied throughout the base. Although that doesn't really solve the downgrade, how I make it into a blueprint, but I'll keep something like this just as a reminder until I figure out what I'm actually supposed to do with it. But yeah, upgrading the whole rectangle is definitely convenient. It's just not something we can do with burners. There is a small chance that the belt will be backed up enough by this point that it might be okay. Although wait, never mind. That's not an option at all. I just remembered how incredibly expensive these are. We could have an upgrade planer that skips undergrounds, because we don't actually have any undergrounds in here. So if we did an underground that is literally just splitters and belt, that could work. Does have the circuit? Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about the circuit. I'm just trying to think how I mark it to be red belts with the way... Actually, it's more how do I mark it to be yellow belts. Maybe I just always have it as red belt and never change it in the blueprint. Yeah, I guess... okay, I think I get it. So if I have it start as red belt, like the entire time, the only thing that sacrifices is my ability to control click. Or not control click, Q-pick. So something like this I think works. And this won't conflict with any blueprints. Now when I first place it, it will be a yellow belt, which is going to be a little bit weird. And then for this, we should actually have it farther back to reduce the amount of red belt we need. Okay, yeah, I think this will work. The combination of those two ideas. These were not copied right, but that's okay, because that's an easy fix. Okay, so something like that. I think theoretically I should actually do... I should do the whole grid as yellow belt, because then I don't have to remember which side I'm doing. Wait, this one actually has a circuit on it. Why does that one have a circuit on it? Oh, because this is steel. That tracks. Oh, steel's not too bad, because we don't actually have to upgrade the output. It's still gonna... Well, it's gonna conflict, but the thing is, I will have upgraded all of these belts to red before I place the next stage. So the idea is that while this will conflict, it won't conflict by the time I pace the next stage, or it's only going to conflict in like one stage. Because if I haven't upgraded all of these in time, then my base isn't going to run well anyway. So that's what I'm banking on. It is very nice that we don't have to upgrade these. And then same with furnaces. Yeah, that's the general idea. Because these will all be steel furnaces. So yeah, we just want to reduce the amount of stages that can have conflicts. Wait, what? 11? Oh, right, because I've been upgrading to 15. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I should just be using an upgrade planner, but I like hearing the satisfying clicks, which I know isn't a great reason, but that is my reason for making it take longer. Upgraded the wrong half. Ooh, okay, so this one's a little bit annoying because it's non-standard, but I guess that's fine. Now I don't think all of these need to be red belts, but I don't know which ones need to be red belt yet. So at the moment, we're planning for them all being red belt. But it's one of those things where technically, I think I have like an extra belt of iron somewhere. Like right here, obviously we don't need all of this copper. Because if I sum these together, this is 1 belt, 2 belt, 3 belt, 3 belt, 3.5 belt. So there's some issues there. This should prio though. Okay, steel's good. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, I guess Q picking with belts isn't that important, so I don't think it's too bad. I feel like there would be a way for me to show which side is output and which side is input, but if I can't look at a furnace lane and see which side is input and output at a glance, I don't think I'll be doing well in the run anyway, so I shouldn't have to mark that. Okay, so this feels like I'm supposed to have more copper in one of these belts than an entire belt, but maybe not. I think, I think we don't have to upgrade one of these. That's I don't know, that's just a gut feeling I have because it does not look like there's that much copper here. But how do we test that? Let's see, where's the rate calculator? So theoretically, this consumes 13 copper per second, which is an entire belt. However, they're burner inserters, so they're never going to consume that much. But it looks like maybe I'm supposed to keep a little bit of this as red belt, which is incredibly annoying. Like up to here, maybe? So that's 7 iron. So that leaves 5 there, and then these consume 2. Okay. That almost works. It's actually a little bit too late. So theoretically, it should actually be here. Okay, our inventory is really filling up now. Wait, why are those not set to exact? They are. Huh. I don't know why they are filling my inventory then. So maybe this works? Okay, what is this ratio? I'm looking for like a split of... Oh, wait. No, I just need a split of 15. Right, the only issue with this was this consumes... Actually, wait, this consumes like 15.01, right? Yeah, this consumes 15.1. This is not worth upgrading. That is so close to one full belt. So this is the one that needs to be upgraded then, right? Okay, this is the one that's supposed to be a red belt. Okay, it makes more sense now. And then we need to upgrade it about halfway, I'm guessing. 9 and 15. So that's technically the perfect ratio. And that's assuming these run full speed, which I doubt they do. I think technically these eventually run full speed. But this seems fine. I wonder if I build this with red belt initially. This might be something I can completely build with red belt because I don't actually need this until I have blue science. So we might do red. This might not even be an upgrade. Okay, so this gives half a belt here, slightly more than half a belt there. It's easier to spot shortcomings if you add consumption to belts. You mean like actually make the lanes run? The issue is we don't really have a good way to void stuff. Which is why we don't really do that. It's just very difficult to add a spot that voids all the resources we need. So I find it easier to just add resources. I just find it easier to add the assembling machines than I do to like try to add a void somewhere. Yeah, loaders into infinity chest, but we have to add them at a lot of different points, right? Like adding like 5 loaders to this isn't any easier than just adding 15 plus 9. Hmm. Should this prio to the left? Maybe this should be a 50-50 split. Yeah, that should be a 50-50 because we want to make sure this doesn't need that much copper. We want to make sure it gets a little bit. Okay, so this looks fine. So this will send half a belt down, half a belt through here, a full belt up. The only thing I'm concerned with is I think this, as long as this needs less than half a belt, we're good. If it needs exactly half a belt, we don't technically have enough. Oh, yeah. Right, I forgot these are batteries. They use mostly sulfuric acid. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so honestly, with how little these use, we could probably make do with only upgrading part of this. I don't think that's worth it, but it is an option. And then iron, oh, we use a ton of iron. I don't think there's, yeah, I'm going to make the assumption that we don't have spare iron. And if we do, we can turn it all into gears. Okay. So that should be fine. I guess we do have to test with infinity loaders, don't we? Just because burner inserters are so garbage. Yeah, we can't. We have to make sure they can actually grab from the belts. Okay, so voiding the green chips, I think, is the best option. I guess we can just use stack inserters, right? Right, yeah, now I see it. The green chips are just so far away. Let's just make a backup save. Because I think temporarily voiding it is way easier. Or just destructively voiding it is way nicer. Burner Hundo Death Worlds. Yeah, the week after for sure. We'll definitely be able to take this base and apply it directly to Death World. I don't think that'll be a problem. Okay, I don't know if these are getting gears. I'm gonna assume they're getting gears. Now these aren't running for some reason. Oh, we accidentally broke this lane. Okay, well that's an easy fix. Oh, can they grab from the belt? Okay, so this isn't going to be a problem in the actual run, but this right here is why having the whole block be upgraded with red belts isn't that great. Because we just killed 5 inserters. So we want to upgrade as little as we can. Fortunately, that's not a scenario that is actually likely to happen, because these will have been backed up for so long, but yeah, it's what our designs are trying to avoid. Deathworld resources might be too low. Nonsense. Deathworld can definitely supply this base. Oh, we forgot to void a belt. Okay, so what did we change? I remember we had one belt that was fixed. So this one we did fix when we reload. This one's good. These don't run at all. That's weird. Oh, right, power. Yep, now I remember why we don't do this. Maybe if we had power in our base, this would be a lot easier, huh? Who would have thought that power is helpful? Okay, flying lamps. Okay, that should make things work. Okay, can we speed it up? We should be able to speed it up. And then we're assuming stack size fully upgraded. Perfect. I feel like a lot more is getting through than I expected. Are these out? These shouldn't be inserter limited. Hello, collector of stuff. Welcome, welcome. I mean, if I can change my color with this, if you have a color preference. We do stay in editor mode most of the time, so it's not really visible, but I can change my player color if you would like. Unless you're just using that to say hi, in which case, welcome, welcome. Pink, okay. That one's a common one. It's a good color. A little bit more bright. Okay, let's leave editor. There we go. So whenever we exit editor mode, we can actually see it. Huh, this is consuming way less than I thought. Are these that limited by... Oh, we're missing an inserter. Okay, that makes more sense. What about you? Are we belt? Oh, we're saturating the belt. Okay, so maybe we have more copper than we thought. I feel like these... Oh, these need to be voided. For some reason, I thought these were making chips. Yeah, I wish burners were really this fast. That would be so nice. Okay, and then clear all of these. We're only testing copper right now because that's the only thing that grabs directly from a red belt. Everything else, as long as it's split in a way that looks like it can do a full belt anywhere, there shouldn't be an issue. But these grab from red belt, so I just needed to confirm that they are in fact working well. Now, if they weren't working well, there's a very easy fix. It's called doubling up on the inputs so they work better. This is hand built, but so I'd rather not do that. But it's not the end of the world if I do. Wait, what? Why are these producing so many? Oh. I know why I have so many assembly machines. We don't have this yet. Okay, so yeah, that means these definitely aren't working full speed, so we have more than enough copper. I feel like we might be able to get away with one less copper lane then. Because these never have to be designed to run full speed. That's just not how hand-built designs work. Like, there's no reason to make them compatible with upgrades. Well, aside from prod mods. Which I'm realizing we don't have in these. We should add prod mods. That's the only way we can get a full belt. Looks like iron is doing well, though. Actually, oh, this is a problem. These don't work as well as... I don't think these work as well as they could because the iron wasn't backing up. Although... that might be something that's going to happen in the real world, too. It's nice seeing them run, even if it's terrible. Even if they're not running well. Okay, so that looks a lot better. Is anywhere else consuming copper? I don't think so, because I feel like this will give me a good estimate of how much copper I can consume per second, right? Plates. So we're looking at copper plates over the last minute. It's using 4,000 per minute. What is that in set per second? 80-ish? Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. 80 copper plates per second? From 2 lanes? That's not possible. Do we have copper plates somewhere else on this stage? I thought this was all of them. Obviously, they have to be produced somewhere else, right? Because this is a red belt. Red belt is 30 per second. So, theoretically, that should be its limit. That's right? Like, this says 4,700. Divide that by 60 seconds. What am I doing wrong here? I have some stuff up above the furnaces. These are completely idled, though. Are you talking about these ones? That was my first thought, but they are 100% not running. I wonder if I have a green chip build, like doing a test run somewhere. Because that's very possible. We could have another part of our base. No? Can I not count? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 60. Huh. Oh, nothing's wrong. All the stages run at once. That's why we have the disable stage button. Silly me. You have to disable every stage. It's been a while since we've done a production run. There we go. That's so much better. But yeah, that's just with the stage blueprint planning. Okay, that is way nicer. That is barely 2 things of copper, actually. I guess it's because these aren't running, though. So theoretically, we need to look at the next stage. But it looks like 1 thing of copper is enough to run everything up into bots. So that means this probably never needs an upgrade. It also means when I build this, I should actually have... Ooh, actually we have 2 options here. Actually, no, we have 1 option here. Well, 2 options. They're very similar options. So option A, build this one, upgrade it. That's good until bots. So that's option 1. Option 2, build this one, then build this one, upgrade neither of them until way later. And then we can have bots do the upgrade. So the downside of that is that I think we do run slightly short on copper, right? I have to look at the number again. No, okay, so there's no downside with that one. It is more entities I have to place early, but it means I don't have to upgrade, which I think is more effort than building it the first time. Because either way, I'm building this by hand, right? So the real question is, how long can this run without a supplement? Okay, but that brings it up to... So right now, this is consuming about 27 copper per second, right? And that's with the batteries running basically full speed. These running as fast as they can possibly go. These running as fast as they can possibly go. So that's all of my copper consumers here. Which means this is what it all comes down to. Now this looks like it uses a lot of copper, but it's hard to say. So this is, okay, so this was designed to use exactly 7.5 copper. So this is exactly 1 belt. This is exactly 1 belt. So we just need to make sure this gets a full belt. So I think we build this one. Then we build this one. We have this belt going down here. This one stays completely yellow the entire time. This one gets built later and this gets upgraded with bots. Or we find something to do with 15 copper. But I don't think we have a use for 15 copper, and if we find one later, that is a very easy fix. Fortunately. Oh, we're on the wrong stage though. Production, have to make sure it's actually correct. Max, peak production, peak consumptions, 1700. Okay, it cannot get higher than that without a stack size improvement. And even, let's see what it is with the stack size improvement. Because if it gets, because it could cause problems later, which would be bad. We need prod mods. Prod mods here. That won't actually increase the copper consumption, but it will make it that the copper consumption is the same. Or it should decrease the copper consumption if the belt starts to back up. And then we also need stack size. I want to see what happens to our production if we research max. How do I... Why can't I research it? There we go. I feel like I was clicking on the wrong menu. Okay. We'll let this run for a few more seconds. Currently, our peak product consumption is still not that high. So it looks like even with stack size, it's still only about 1800 per second. So it's pushing it. It's definitely pushing it. So this is exactly 30 per second. Which does make sense. If we really, really were desperate for copper, I think the easiest fix would actually be to add prod mods into everything later. Like 1 prod and 1 speed into all of these. Will make it that you get roughly the same amount of copper cables, but you get them 8% cheaper, so that would free up 1 copper per second to go to these. It's not an ideal solution, but it is something I can change during the run without causing any issue with conflicts. But yeah, I think not having to do an entire furnace upgrade is pretty nice. Like 48 furnaces and 150 red belt is a lot. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. So really we just need 45 copper per second. This also makes connecting the patches a lot easier, since honestly an entire yellow belt of resources less is pretty significant whenever you're using burner inserters and you're struggling to get resources as is. Okay, so a couple of fixes we had to do. We don't have prod modules in our circuit assemblers. We don't have coal connected to the second copper patch, and then we don't need to have the second copper patch upgraded. Okay, so that's the three things we need to get done. Theoretically, if I change how the belt is split, I could actually have this go up there. Nah, that's not better. Nah, never mind, that's not better at all. I feel like this still needs to be a red belt though, right? Yeah, unless these run at 70% speed. This section does in fact need to be a red belt. Actually, should I design it to not be a red belt? I feel like it's best for me to design that to not be a red belt. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know if it's possible in a way that's easy. Because the goal is for me to never have to upgrade this one, right? So that would go straight. That would go down. And then we would need a splitter here. Then another splitter. So this would send the excess probably through here. Something like that. Ah, the ratio is so weird. Are burners fast enough to saturate a red belt? Barely. Barely. You can get pretty close to a full. You can get pretty close to a full red belt from a smelting lane. It's like 92. It's like 98% or something. So I guess technically, if I'm barely producing enough, it is pushing it. Are you suggesting that I still do the upgrade? Is that the idea? Still do the upgrade so that way if they are running short, it doesn't end my run. I don't know. I think all of this is pretty low stakes, right? Yeah, it's only my starter mall. You're not okay. Was it just curiosity? Yeah, let's downgrade it. Okay, so there should be no red belt here now. Perfect. No more logic. Excellent. Oh, you mean for this section? Yeah, the only reason I would think... Yeah, yellow belts are definitely safer. Not producing the bare minimum is definitely safer. But my main concern with this is how do I do the split? Because I think if I do a split, I still need a red belt, but it can go into a yellow belt, right? So this is fairly smart belt compatible. This is unsafe. This is an unsafe design. I actually need to sideload it here if I do that. Which is, it feels really weird, but that's just how burner inserters work. You can't really grab from a splitter safely. This would actually need to be a red belt. Okay, so to make this work, I would need a splitter here and then also a splitter up here. This is gonna get annoying to build. It's not that bad though, right? Okay, so we would have a splitter here, splitter here. Splitter here. Yeah, I didn't see that one. Thank you. This is smart beltable. This is actually a lot of straight lines. I think this is manageable. So this prio's to the right. This prio's... don't really care that much about the prio here, do I? No. This one just does whatever. And then it splits it 50-50. Actually, it's not a 50-50 split, is it? It's 12 and 12. Oh, it is a 50-50 split. Yeah, let's do 50-50 then, especially since they both saturate different sides of the belt. Okay, so this is smart belt. This is smart belt compatible. Lots of straight lines. I don't hate this. And then if I do change my mind, this can be upgraded before I do the run. So like if I realize when I'm doing my bot tests later that this doesn't work, it is something that can be fixed, but that seems fine. And then this sends most of the resource. Yeah, this is about a 50-50 split too, right? Actually, now this needs a prio. Now this one needs a prio. So we need to make sure... No. Yeah, we don't need the prio. There we go. That's the same. That's basically the same idea. Okay, I think that's all right. So this has a very short stretch of red belt. I know I can technically do it without the second splitter. I just wasn't sure if it was smart belt compatible, but it looks like it might be. So if we turn this here and we turn this here, we do save a splitter. It is still smart belt compatible. Okay. And then input prio right. Okay. Fairly smart belt compatible. Only uses one splitter. Saves a lot of red belt. Okay, that's all right. And then I keep wanting to entity save here, but this is not an entity saving section. This is hand built, so entity savings is not nearly as important as hand build efficiency and just price. Yellow belts are cheaper than yellow undergrounds. The only reason to ever use yellow undergrounds is for bots. Yeah, belt smartable. I've used that as a verb a lot. It's or actually not a verb, I guess, adjective. As in, or are you belt smartable? Are you, or can we combine it to one word? Smartable. That doesn't clear things up at all. But yeah, I use it to mean like, can I run a smart belt over it safely? So, you know, like, does it not have like a curve in it? Is there a large enough gap for me to run a smart belt through it? Smart belt smartable. It's a very useful adjective, despite being completely made up. Okay. That we've done one of the things on our task list today because we got sidetracked by that. Okay, beacons, concrete, sirens, send through base. Okay, that's definitely a later thing. Red. Okay, this one we need to do as well. This one we can do today pretty easily. Okay, so beacons are wire, red belt, steel, and green circuit, I think. Did I say red belt? Red and green circuits, right? Yes, red and green circuits. Okay, so that means the best place to build that would be near red chips, right? Now, we don't need beacons that early. We have them set up around here, but we don't really need that many of them. Also, where are we producing yellow assemblers? If you look at it like that, all words are made up. We just attribute different properties to different sequences of sound. That is true. All words are fake. Feel like there's a little bit more nuance to that, but yeah, I like this. It justifies my use of the word. Have we not set up yellow belt assembling machine? Like, is that not part of our build? We might not have yellow belt assemblers. Or sorry, not yellow belt. Yellow tier 3 assemblers? Question mark? That is very important. I know we have more over here. So, like, I know we have them for our outpost. I just don't know if we have them before. So if I highlight the entire base, that number is still 1.5. We missed it. We missed the... Okay. We only need, like, 20 of them, which I think is why we didn't care that much. But we definitely need 20 of them. English doesn't have an official list of words, so by definition, any word could be part of English. We have a dictionary, but I guess, yeah, those aren't updated constantly. I know a lot of people are like, it's not in the dictionary, it's not a word. And then they added y'all to the dictionary, and then I'm pretty sure after that, people stopped caring about dictionaries being like the rule of thumb for it being a word. Okay, so we have speed modules, right? So it's literally just speed modules and assembler 2s, right? Like, there's nothing more to that. So I think this is incredibly easy. Yeah, okay, yeah, this won't be hard. Unless it's a dead language, no language is finite. Well, you say that, but just wait until people start dropping slang in Latin. Then you'll all be sorry? I don't know, why does that sound like a threat? Okay, so assemblers are produced in bulk over here. Okay, this isn't too bad. Wait a minute. This is really easy. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's easier than I thought. Because this just needs to go here. The issue is we need to get a... we need the space. Latin is only half dead. Is that... I guess if people do kind of use it for naming like animals and stuff, it is... it might change. That is a valid point. Has a lot of speakers for a dead language. Okay, so obviously this. And then this is like, it's really easy, but also not. Huh. I don't like that combination. I think we can fit it here. We just have to spaghetti this through the base. Which unfortunately is way more annoying than it should be. We can go 1, 2, 3, then we can cut down, and then we can go over? No, that doesn't work. Unbreak the belt where I just moved the undergrounds. This one? Oh, thank you. Okay. Good catch. We could go through here, right? What's over here? A mess, that's what it is. But we could theoretically, if we turn this earlier, I think we can make it work. Oh, this is rotated the wrong way. What is this belt? What is this belt? Why does it exist? What is this? What do you do? Oh, this might have been the old... Oh, this is the green... Oh, this is the green science belt. This is an important belt that is very broken. Okay. Why is it broken? I mean, we'll just delete that for now. I guess we can make an infinity one. Where does it come from? Exactly. Cotton Eye Joe said it best. He was talking about green science on a belt in Factorio. Clearly. Okay, we'll just do that for now. Because I have no idea where the heck that came from. Oh, I think I see it. Okay. I think we found it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Life's good again. Okay. So I think we can cut through here with the assembling machine. We do have to make a little... We have to make a weird little belt, but we can do it. Okay, so first things first, we shift this over. And now, we could do this. This isn't awful. This is outputting on the inside, inside, inside. Okay, that's good. I am okay with this. Okay, now we get to the final boss of this section, which is called Let's Just Use a Red Underground. That's I definitely not a good name for a boss, to be honest, but it's more like the move you use to defeat the boss, if anything. Okay, 2.3, move this stage. Okay, now this... I don't think any of this is used for anything other than adding speed mods to beacons and machines. So this should be pretty easy to buffer, especially if we shift this down a tile. Cache buffers are very troublesome with burners. I've mentioned it before, but it's still true. Okay, I think this could work. Ah, that's not safe. That's not considered a safe design. Like, that was my idea, but this isn't functional. I could use a splitter. Would that work? I feel like a splitter would work well. I also want logic on this. Only run if... Actually, for this one, I only want... I want the whole logistic network. Assembly machine greater than 1. 5? Let's try to keep 5. That's not that many. Because this will just go on the belt and not be used, which would be bad. And this is a pretty long belt. Fortunately, blue assemblers are fairly cheap, so backing up 100 of them isn't the end of the world, but this will make it that it lets bots still build stuff. And we can always make the number higher when we get a general idea of how fast we're producing. Honestly, yeah, let's just make it higher now. Half a stack. That seems reasonable. That's like one set of green chips that we can build at a time with buffered chests. Okay. Speaking of buffered chests, how do we do this? What if we go... a different direction? Also, I don't know if these prod mods go anywhere. That's why they're still there. I think this is supposed to be a buffer for personal use. Can I move this down? No. Maybe. Yes, technically I can. Which requires me to actually move it up. Okay, hold up. I think I see... I see a path. Not all is bleak. Everything is looking up. Okay. So we shift these all up a tile. There we go. Well, I guess I haven't confirmed this works. Okay. Now we shift this down. And now this, theoretically it can probably just get sideloaded, but we'll do the snake just in case. Free belt save on this underground going over prod mod belt. What do you mean? Where's the belt safe? On next stages. Oh, here. What is this? Huh. Oh, this is just combining the coal. Okay. Actually, no, it's not. That is supposed to be stopped. Yeah, yeah. We want these to run full speed. Right. Actually, they can continue through. That might be worth it. Oh, wait, never mind. There's iron. Never mind. There's copper on this belt. Prod after splitter belt going up. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of belt save that we can still do. But I'm not entirely sure if this section is done, which is why I haven't been replacing it. I think that's good. Because I know we need red belt or prod modules, but we have this like weird... We have this weird section where technically I redesigned this, and I don't know if we rerouted the prod mods or not. It's really hard to tell. It looks like we did, so I think we're okay. So maybe we can just say it's safe. And we also have these, which is free. Free is free. Might as well. And then we this coal belt we don't have access to because we're reading from the belt for those inserters. Excellent. Okay. So all of this that we just shifted was to move this down a single tile, by the way. That's all it was for. And now we have space for a buffer chest. Worked like a charm. Okay. And then we probably want to have this one keep like 50 in the chest, maybe. Actually, not even just in the chest. Not even 50. We don't use speed modules that often. I know, right? Buffer chests impossible. We use so few of them. We have them in like 3 different spots. It's just burner inserters are so bad that they can't keep up with a prod. You have to make the buffer chest so large to keep up with like a decent amount of throughput. So you can only use them on really, really slow things like this. Like, I don't even know if we're going to do a buffer chest for blue chips. We probably will. But like, it's still hard to justify. Okay, so we did that. It looks like we can cut through here with the coal. Okay. And then I think that's good. Okay. Perfect. That took so long. But it's good. Ooh. That's not safe. That's not a safe design. We have to shift this up a tile. Grabbing from... Actually, we can shift this down. Either way, grabbing from a splitter is considered unsafe. There were a couple options there, so it wasn't too bad. We don't have an output from this. Maybe logic output inserter from buffer so bots won't be flying to an empty chest? What do you mean? That's what this is, right? Or did I misunderstand that? Maybe we can move this over a bit. Don't know if that helps. Probably doesn't help. You know what? Okay, we're just we're gonna do this. Gotcha. Okay, so it is what I already had. Perfect. Wasn't sure. It was one of those things where like I very easily could have just messed it up. So 50-50 shot. Okay, this works. Now this might seem weird, but like I said, burner inserters suck. So they can't grab from a splitter going away, and they can't really grab from a splitter going towards them. They can grab from the input, but they can't grab from the output, if that makes sense. So they would have to be on the same side as the coal to be able to grab from the side. And even then, it's a little bit risky, so I prefer not to do that. But this should be okay. Now this, honestly, we can just limit to... Actually, this one's tricky. Because we don't need a lot of these. And they build fast through buffers. So let's actually limit it to like 10. Sorry, less than 10. If only burners and inserters suck better. Exactly. They need to be bad, but they need to be not that, but bad in a better way, clearly. Good output to the bottom, empty spots, so no need for one length underground. Oh my god, you're right. I forgot. We shifted it up to add the splitter, and in the process of shifting it up, we gave a spot for that chest. Good catch. We were too focused on the solution we already had. Okay, and this is literally to just get us RCUs, I think. And this. So all of that work, by the way, was to get 28 assembling machines. I'm pretty sure that's all of the yellow assemblers we have. Oh, sorry. 38 assembling machines. Oh, yeah. So that's why the production is fine. Okay, and then it looks like there's some easy entity saves here, which we might as well get while we're thinking about it. I can't tell if that's a belt or... Actually, I can tell if it's belt. Belts are yellow. Inserters are blue. Look at that, our inventory is full. Imagine planning the base about 20 tiles larger in each direction to have easy space for extra belts. I mean, we never knew how large our base would be, so it's it's a great thought until you realize how do you plan 20 extra tiles when you've already planned 20 extra tiles. Yeah, that definitely would simplify things if we had even more. Needs for logic memory cell? Wait, you mean like for like sushi? Or do you mean like I need a memory cell? Just take the current base and make it larger. True. We'll just anytime we need a space for a belt, we'll just cut the entire section and shift it up one tile. I think that there's a 0% chance that might not backfire. Those are good odds, right? Yeah, with great odds. These actually I want to keep as regular belts because I'm not sure where they go yet. Actually, wait, which one are these? Oh, never mind. I know what belt these are. Yeah, we can convert these. Look at that belt save. Also, we have a grand total. We have roughly 70,000 entities in our base, which feels like so much to be made using burner inserters. I feel like we're going to get to the run and we're going to spend way too much time making the main base versus green chip outposts, but it's a learning curve. Yeah, reconnect the belts and the inserters. There are, I guess, a lot of other things. Honestly, the belt is probably the least bad thing that could happen from that. Yeah, we're definitely gonna... I imagine our production of stuff is definitely gonna be imbalanced. But, you know, you have to make mistakes to fix them. That's why I want to do a revisit with all the knowledge we'll have. We'll have to do the revisit within like 2 months, though, because of the expansion coming out. Well, I guess we don't have to, but obviously we're going to want to play the expansion for a bit. What we'll really need to do, I hope it's possible, Or, well, it will be possible. I hope it's not terrible to use burner inserters only in the expansion. Because we obviously have to beat the expansion using only burner inserters, right? Not the first time, but definitely the second time through. Okay, this is hand-built, so that doesn't care about entities. Okay, so we got tier 3 assemblers, probably. We should probably double-check that. Are we not outputting blue assemblers? I think we might not be sending blue assemblers up. Oh wait, that's because the outpost doesn't need blue assemblers. And then by the time we do need blue assemblers, they're so cheap that I can't justify shipping them across the base. Do assemblers have a large enough entity cost that I can justify shipping them, belting them? 1,000 total entities and adding 200 tiles of belts to make 1,000 entities closer doesn't seem worth it. Oh my gosh. Legendary burner inserter builds will be awesome. Really gonna need to stop watching Factorio after the expansion and make it on your own. Yeah, that's fair. I definitely won't be doing exclusively expansion stuff. Because I'll have some... I still have some runs that I want to do that I definitely won't get until that point. Get done before that point, and I imagine I'll be doing them... If not... I'll probably be doing them on 2.0, but I doubt I'll be doing them in the expansion content. Because just lengthwise, I think 8 to 12 hours is a good length for challenge. The expansion is not that. It's definitely not that. Maybe it could be eventually as a speed run, but definitely not as a challenge run. So yeah, we'll still be doing plenty of non-expansion content. Honestly, the expansion might just replace like our space exploration weekends. I imagine the first week we'll binge it, but then we'll go back to just like a schedule. Because I do like my challenge runs. I mean, that's the main thing I like doing, so that's why they take up most of the streams. I also really hope we can start Ultra Cube. There's some entities we can save. I feel like this is not a good use of my time right now, but I just keep seeing them, and they just seem like such easy belt saves that I can't pass it up. Okay, let's continue on. Red underground. Okay, beacons, concrete. Okay, so beacons are steel, circuits, and wire, which means we're probably fine without beacons until this stage, right? Playing to the rocket in this expansion could be helpful for challenges that are other... Ooh, good point, good point. If we just keep that as our ending goal, that just makes the goal blue science. Although that might make it... Yeah, that's actually not too bad. No, I like that. I'll keep that in mind. God, Ultra Cube? What, do you not like Ultra Cube? A lot of people want me to... just want me to play it, so I wasn't expecting that kind of reaction. Sounds like you were a little bit hurt by Ultra Cube in the past. But yeah, I have been wanting like a challenge, a good stopping point that was roughly blue science. So yeah, earlier rocket launch should be perfect for that. I wonder if you play the expansion... I'm assuming the expansion, or 2.0 by itself, probably won't change the rocket science. Right? That seems like a fair assumption. I guess we don't really have any info. Well, actually, maybe we do. But I imagine 2.0 probably won't change the science distribution. It's just going to be like the quality of life improvements. Why can I not find a good spot for these? Okay, so red chips here. The issue is that we need beacons to be prioritized over red chips, but the red chips all go the opposite direction, except right here. So let's say between Ultra Cube and Double Trouble, you'd pick Double Trouble. Not because you're biased by the author. Fair. Yeah, I definitely no bias there. But yeah, no, completing it seems rough. Because I think a lot of it is just really slow, right? Because so little of your factory runs. Given that 2.0 is a free update, it likely won't take away that much for people who don't buy the expansion. Yeah, that's fair. It would be weird if they made rockets earlier and then just changed nothing else. It's like, oh, rockets are now blue science, and that's it. Where can we split off of these? Okay, if we split off here, I think that's reasonable. So it looks like we're probably going to be producing beacons in this section. So where do we get steel? Ooh, actually, steel's over here. Oh, beacons are super easy. Never mind, this isn't a problem at all. Okay, we can even set it to logic. Perfect. Beacon production. Good. Beacon output. We're just gonna make it in a random spot. I don't think this is the right stage. No, this is not the right stage. There we go. Let's make it on 3.2. I don't know if it'll be researched yet, but... Oh, what? Oh, I clicked off. I had the wrong I had the wrong stage thing out, so it was deleting. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, no, I don't know what caused that. That's weird. I can't always delete it. Okay, I don't know what happened. See, just like in lunar landing. What's lunar landing? Is that I'm assuming it's a mod for Factorio, right? That seems like a reasonable assumption. Someone mentioned it before, actually. Why does it ring a bell? Did it seem interesting to me? Or did somebody just mention it because of something else I did? Small overhaul which expands the factory onto Novice's moon. Oh, okay. I think we were thinking of doing... I think somebody suggested we add that into Janky 2.0, which we do still need to do. We actually need to do that probably in September, right? Would be a good time for it. Or maybe August, so I have time to finish it. But, you know, Janky 2.0, all the improvements to like fake legendary inserters and stuff like that, but done in whatever with mods. SE for the lazy. That's another good way of putting it. Yeah, I think that's why it was suggested, because we wanted something to add science or space stuff to make it feel like the expansion without it being, you know, SpaceX. Sorry, space exploration. SpaceX is space expansion? Space extension? Right? I'm pretty sure there's like a distinction that people make for those. Okay, I think this works. These are on the right side. That's side-loaded correctly. Okay, that's fine. So that's red chips. And then we need green chips and wire, which are not on the same side of the belt. That is very unfortunate. However, it's not a difficult fix. It's just something I need to fix. So it looks like wire is here. Green chips and plastic are here. So if we shift this up a tile, that lets me put a splitter. And then this has plastic on it. I don't know which side green chips are on, so should I just do this? I should probably... Actually, no. We can just send this straight through. Oh, wait, sorry. This one is the circuits. Or, sorry, this one's wire. So this can just side load here. I think that works. SpaceX is just really, really old. Is that why it has preference on the names? Because I feel like nobody talks about it, but if you call space exploration SpaceX, someone will call me out on it. At least I've definitely gotten that before. Ultra Cube is a lot of effort. Double Trouble is lots of annoyance. Okay, yeah, that's fair. It just really depends which is going to drive me more insane. Trying or crying? Okay, this should work, because this should be pure wire. Yeah, because if we have wire going through here, it's then side swapped. Okay, that's good. And this should be green chips and plastic, which is why it just goes through. Okay, that is totally fine. We do not need that many beacons because burner inserters are awful. As always, you can't really do that much to speed up an assembling machine when you're limited by the ability of inserters to output. So this one can just... Honestly, we can just limit it to one stack. I don't think we need that many burner inserters. Or that many beacons. Oh, we need a grand total of 80. That's a lot more than I thought. Maybe I should leave the buffer higher. Ooh, wait, we have combinators. I could count. How do I count? How do I count outputs? Arithmetic combinator. Yeah, arithmetic combinator. Like 2 of those, I think. No, decider combinator works too. Right? Yeah, because in any percent you use decider combinator to count the outputs. So you could just have them... Okay, so yeah, I can do that with this. It is all the way to 1.3. Dang. That is... I think technically after I started playing. Will this work? I do not remember exactly how it is. Anything... No, wait, hold on. Equals to output anything? No, everything. No, anything? I do not remember how this worked. It wasn't this. I definitely do not remember that logic. Well, I'm just gonna... How do you make a simple counter? Can you do that with a decider combinator? You need some kind of combinator, right? Let's test it with this. That'll be easiest. Because we need to remember how to play, basically. We can figure this out, right? Okay, so read contents. Honestly, I feel like I just need to feed it back into itself and it'll keep track, but that doesn't seem true. Any combinator, really? Okay. We need something that's always true so it never resets itself. That might work. Read hand contents pulse. Enabled condition is beacons less than 5. It's not powered. I don't know if that's the problem, but it's not powered. Oh, wait, that is the pro. Okay, that's all we need to do. I feel like we don't need that, though. Not like that changes anything. Okay, so what's the point of doing it with an arithmetic combinator? Is there any advantage? Oh, wait, that's if you want to clock inserters, maybe. Maybe I'm thinking of just counting, not like counting just every tick, as opposed to just counting literally anything. Okay, that works. So this... Yeah, we can override the hand. Well, we don't really need to override the hand size. That only mattered... That only mattered in that situation. Because we gave it like 10 at a time, but... Might as well, right? Okay, enabled condition... How much do we have in our entire base? That's all we need for that, right? So currently we have 180 beacons. How are we using 180 beacons? I don't even know where those are. Okay, so this stops at 180 beacons. Sure. Why not? I don't know how we have that many. Oh, weird. I disconnected from chat. Welcome back. 180 beacons. Sorry, that's just so many. I don't know where they are. Oh, 127 are here. Okay, so where's the other 60? Oh, right. Okay. I don't know if we really have enough beacon production for this. They're in the base. Good. Thank you. I guess 180, I know it's not a lot of... There's really not a lot of beacons at the end of the day. But for burner inserters, that sounds like a lot. But realistically, these should be producing like one beacon every 30 seconds, right? We might need to double up on inserters. Well, let's see. This has green circuits, 20 per second, red chips, 20 per second, copper cables, and steel. So right now the split is... It's not balanced. So it's actually going to be limited by the one inserter moving 30 items per second, which it can't do. So 20 per second. It's actually... Okay, it lines up with the crafting speed. We do have 10 hours to produce them. True. One for 20 seconds. So 3 per minute. We need 180. That's not that long, right? So that's 1 hour. Pretty much exactly. That's not terrible. A lot of them aren't... As long as we do the staging, I think we're okay. Because we need these ones to be prioritized over these. And then that's really our only requirement. We could also double our production. That is a viable option. So 0.3 per minute? No, 3 per minute. Or do you mean for the 10 hours to produce them? No, this should produce all 180 in 1 hour. Because it can produce one every 20 seconds. I know, right? Doubling things to get more production? Nonsense. Nobody's done that before. If we do this, we need to change our design a little bit. It's not that hard, but it is something that needs to be done. But yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah, let's double it. The cost of doubling it is very small, and I doubt it's going to starve our base that much that I care. So yeah, it's definitely better to do it than not. Okay. Now this technically not safe. So it's not a design I should go with. So I think I might end up staggering it a little bit. Ooh, steel. Steel is a problem. If I shift this down, can it grab from steel? I don't think we can shift it down enough to grab from steel. I guess we can shift steel up. Because we can shift this down a tile, no problem. That's our limit, 1 tile. Ooh, it can't read from the belt anymore. Oh wait, it doesn't read from the belt, it reads from this. That's fine. Okay, that's problematic. Let's move this. Stage move. We broke things. I think it's fixed. Don't know how that happened. Maybe because there's a blueprint change. That might have broken it. I mean, if I use an extra chest, this is more dense, but... Yeah, okay, so we just need to shift this up a tile. That's fine. Okay. And then these can have the same logic. This logic just makes it that it doesn't start moving steel before there's tons of fuel on the belt. It's very important logic. Okay, so the only thing we haven't fixed yet is the fuel being considered unsafe, which is very fixable. But it is, again, a change that has to be made, or we will regret it. Okay. How do we make this safe? See, if we talk about annoying mods, serotonin overhaul recipes are a bit more complicated. Oh gosh, I just see like the RCU recipe. Oh, that's cruel. Yeah. Imagine combining that with a randomizer. Oh yeah, we need to shift all of it down. Thank you. Actually, why don't I just split it like this? There we go. No point in going to a splitter. Just do 50-50. Okay. That is reasonable. Okay, I have a fairly easy fix for this. That's not the one that needs to be fixed, actually. It's this one. Okay, so we enable... Well, this one, we just read the belt. Hold. Enable if solid fuel is greater than 12? This should fix it. Looks better if you move the splitter one south and to the left. Ooh, you're right. It does look better. And considering the cost is the same, we might as well do it. Good catch. Oops. Ooh, look at that. We even saved entities there. Perfect. Okay. Now this can be done in 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is fine. Honestly, an hour probably is good. Can we save a belt? That's true. It does save one belt. Oh yeah, okay. One south and one left. I could have sworn I read south, but that does make sense. I read both. This probably has an entity savings it can do, but do I care that much? That's not an entity savings. Actually, no, this doesn't. Well, I mean, it saves an entity, but it's more expensive. Don't know if that's not worth it. Okay, so this should theoretically produce more beacons. It's crazy that burner inserters are so bad, though, that, like, I couldn't fix it by just doing speed modules. Like, that wouldn't give me the production I needed. But yeah, this is a little bit nicer. I have the wrong logic on it, but that's fine. Let's do 180. Okay, there we go. I don't think they're not that expensive that I have to limit them with a combinator, but I don't know, we haven't really used combinators much for limiting things. Figured we might as well at some point. But yeah, now that we have that product doubled, this is going to be done in 20 minutes. I feel like other things will still be building during that time, so probably don't need to worry too much about it. Now, I am worried about the amount of steel we have on the belt now. But I think we'll be okay. It is it is very low priority. Actually, no, is it? No, it's prioritized before these two. See, that's 0.3 per second. This uses 1 per second. We might have enough. Yeah, don't worry. We won't really have map re-rolling streams. Hopefully you weren't looking forward to that too much. Our requirements for a map are pretty low, fortunately. I feel like we don't have enough steel on this belt. So I think we actually have to get steel from somewhere else. Because this will definitely starve purple science, and we might not even be able to run it at all. Or sorry, blue science. Yeah, that's true. It is an important category. But so is doing other challenges. Okay, so one fix that we can do is supplement steel later, or we can just feed this directly into the beacons. Both are valid options. I think feeding onto the sushi is better because it also just helps science. So that would go here, right? And then I see a much easier path if we're doing it this way. Yeah, because we should have we shouldn't have any trouble. Oh right, that's why we didn't use this for. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Still a way better path. Okay. We can't go directly there. We have to sideload onto this. What side of the belt does it need to be on, though? That is on the back side of the belt. I think that's the wrong side. That's also the wrong side. Okay. I mean, I guess technically it's already on the right side of the belt because it's side-loaded beforehand, but I think that's just because this is only producing half of a belt at a moment. Yeah. So that's not a forever thing that we can rely on. We can just side-load it over here. Yeah, everything is on the wrong side. Man, that's still on the wrong side. Why is it so hard to get it on that side of the belt? There we go. Finally. Okay. So this will make it that at least about 2 per second goes to this. Okay, so there we go. That should be fine. So this will make it that blue science isn't starved. I'm happy with that. I'm assuming this can produce enough. That is a big assumption, actually. That produces 6 per second. These consume 3.5. These consumes 1. Okay, so we do have enough. We do have enough. And it is prioed. Okay, we're good. If you sideload it there, why even have it sideloaded? So it's not sideloaded here. What are you talking about? At the belt with the wire, it gets sideloaded? There's no sideloading for the steel belt. Or do you mean this? Oh, okay. So to make belts sushi logic work, you need the resources to be on a specific side of the belt. Otherwise, it doesn't work because it changes what this number has to be. If it's on both sides of the belt, it's going to put like 2 or 4 items at once, and that will oversaturate the belt. I see what you mean. So the side loading is to make it that it's only on one side of the belt, so it can only add 1 belt before the belt's disabled. Otherwise, it adds 2. And it will break the sushi, or it can break the sushi. Because if it was on the close side, I think you have to make this number 2. Actually, I think... No, I don't think I can do 2. Yeah. I think it has to be on this side, because I actually need it to be like a quarter of a belt. But yeah, it's just weirdness with belt sushi logic. But there we go. That's beacons done. Okay. Automate sirens, literally wherever. Okay, what do sirens cost, and what are they actually called? Third time's the charm. Speaker. Iron plate, iron sticks, circuits, and cable. I know the speaker's not that important, so if we don't get it, it's not the end of the world, but I would like to actually have some kind of warning system if I connect the entire wrong resource. The only issue is how do I build it? Well, okay, so we have sticks over here. Which means they're technically on this belt too. So that gives us sticks, and that gives us stones? Does that? No, not really. Close to the rest logic related. Oh, it uses different resources than everything else for logic, so it's not like requiring iron and sticks makes it that it can't really fit that comfortably next to combinators. Like it can, but it's not as easy as just building it there because we don't have access to iron here. It not anywhere close. It would make more sense, I think, to just steal from this copper. Actually, does this have circuits nearby? Yeah, we really just don't have... Either we don't have iron nearby or we don't have circuits nearby. Iron is bad? What do you mean? Like iron's hard to get? Find iron, copper, circuits, and make wire locally. Iron, copper, and circuits, I think is... It could be made in our early base. It could be made in this mall. Maybe. Like, we have this gap here, right? We could build it here. It could be built by bots later. Honestly, not a bad option. It would have to go here, which means we have to shift the coal belt. Sticks can be done locally. Chips and wires are needed to other combinators. Well, sticks can be done locally, but we need to get iron there. It's like that was the issue. Like, if we build it here, we still have the closest iron is in the middle of this, which is not that easy to get. But if we build it here, I think life's decent, right? So we can do sticks. The only thing we're missing... Oh, wait, we're missing wire. Why does it need wire and sticks? Two things that you just never have as intermediates. Now, what about here? This could work. Yeah, I think we could fit it here. Because we have access to circuits from this belt, wire from this belt, iron and sticks over here. Deliver the ingredients by train. That's definitely an option. It's not, maybe not a good option, but it's technically an option. Okay, yeah, this spot is reasonable. Yeah, okay, this has everything we need. I like how this is what I consider reasonable. With burner inserters. Well, that part's easy. This part, almost easy, but technically not functional, so we can't count that. Ooh, this works. That actually works really well. Okay, happy with that. Okay, so we need a red splitter here, which technically red splitters are automated by this point in the run, right? Yeah. So as long as we use less than like 20, by this point I think we're good. Okay, so there's wire. There's circuits, so the only thing now we need is sticks. Move the coal belt to earlier blueprint or the line breaks. Oh, I thought I was clicking them in the... So I have an issue with how these are labeled. So I think the most recent stage should be up. So I keep going like up a stage and be like, oh, it's earlier, but no, it's the other way. So thank you for catching that. You'd think I'd get used to it by now. It would actually make more sense to reroute this, wouldn't it? Yeah. So that makes it a whole lot easier. Because now we can share the circuit belt. Because I would have really struggled to get a third belt here. Now, I don't know if we have any side loading here. I don't think we do. Okay, and we're on the correct stage now? Good. So now we just need to figure out how to get sticks here. It's great. Well, we've got this. Doesn't seem to matter as there's no belt earlier through copper. Thank you for catching that. No, it definitely matters. We must have accidentally just highlighted this whole thing. Okay. Yeah, this entire row needs to be on the earlier stage. I don't think it's a big deal if not, but ideally I want these to start backing up. Okay, yeah, very very nice catch. Saves me a lot of headache later whenever I don't have. What would it have been actually? Plastics? No, I would have had plastics. I wouldn't have had underground belts, more splitters. Yeah, I wouldn't have had a lot of things. At this stage of the game, big deal. Well, no, because this is the first blueprint that bots do, and this one is like basically made right after. So it's not that big of a deal. Because you can't forget this is not a competitive run. Like it would not lose me that much time. The simpler part of this would be annoying, but honestly, these aren't that critical. So yeah, it wouldn't really limit that much. It would just decrease the amount of buffered splitters I have for the first outpost. It's the main thing we would lose from it. But the outpost isn't for another 3 stages. It is not 80% of belt production. This is 40%, maybe? No. 30. Yeah, it's like 30. Max 30, but realistically about 20% of our belt production. So yes, not critical. Because most of our belts are produced here and here. That is basically just splitters that we would have missed. Because these don't even go to our base. These go to the outpost. They don't actually output onto the belt for a while. Or these don't run for a while. They're really just placeholders. But since staging isn't that important yet, well, we kind of didn't worry about it. Okay, so this technically has iron on it, but I don't know if that's intended, so I think we need to pretend we don't have it. Okay, I think the idea is there. We'll see if it works, but I'm pretty sure this idea is fairly sound. Ah, this would be perfect if there is the space for it. That's fine. Output. Should I just do like a weird splitter? I might just do a weird splitter. Actually, no. Let's not do a weird splitter. Let's do inserter chain. This runs slow enough that it won't be a huge problem. And then belt. Perfect. Okay, that should produce sticks for me. And there we go. Speakers are done. Which we don't need that many. But I don't know how many we need, so we're just going to limit it to 1. Actually, I might limit it with logistics network. Speakers. Less than like 10 maybe? We don't really need that many at once. I wish we could direct feed them. That would make this a lot nicer. But you have to get really lucky with coal locations to be able to direct feed. So it's easier to just go around. Okay, so this should produce sticks. It's getting iron, it's getting... This is on the right side of the belt. Okay, well, I think we're good. Okay. Yep, I can live with that. A little bit unusual, but that describes most of them. most of our designs. This isn't a competitive run. We aim for world record after all. Yeah, you're right. We're aiming for 4 hours with burner inserters. If you swap which belt goes under which, you could have curved the belt instead of making an inserter chain. What do you mean? You mean like if I flipped this? No, that wouldn't have worked. I'm not sure what you mean. The iron belt goes under the coal belt. The iron slash belt? I don't follow. Oh, the iron slash belt. Oh, okay. Still don't follow, but I see the belt you're talking about. I wonder if we could have had this input over here, though. Not sure if that would have worked. Yeah, I'm really curious. Shift undergrounds with plate sticks to the... See, I don't want to shift that one. I'm not sure if that's safe. If the iron belt isn't underground, you can do with the coal belt whatever you want. Oh, you mean like add a splitter here? I don't know if that works. Burner inserters can't grab from splitters safely. And we couldn't do a loop there either. So you're saying... Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I don't know if it works as well as you want it to. So you're saying I do this, right? So that way this is a regular belt? No, it's not a priority issue. So the issue with the splitter is priority doesn't solve it that well. It might. Curves don't work. Burner inserters can't grab from a curve. They also can't grab from a splitter. So if you're really, really unlucky with coal timings, like, actually, you don't even have to be that lucky. If you're a little bit unlucky with coal timings, this can burn itself out before it ever gets anything, and a prio doesn't fix that. It's like, I see the vision, but burner inserters are garbage, is what that boils down to. There are a lot of designs that are a whole lot simpler if we can grab from splitters. It's really unfortunate. I'm very looking forward to the 2.0 changes. They will make this much nicer if we rerun this in 2.0. Yeah, one. Yeah, your save is probably still viable, yeah. I don't know for sure if that's considered safe because I don't really grab from that very often, but it's probably it's probably something that a burner inserter can reasonably go from. Oh, that's not the one you're talking about. Oh. Oh, you're just talking about this one. Oh yeah, that is still viable. So that was just to save that curve. I thought the idea was to swap these so we could use a different coal belt here. Or at least that's what I thought the vision was. One day I'll be able to not just answer things with burners are awful. It'll be so great. I'll have to redesign everything, and my answer won't be able to be... My explanation won't be burner inserters are bad. Like, I'll actually have to take more suggestions. No, I don't mind taking suggestions. I'm very much looking forward to them being kind of nice. Okay, so that is sirens. Literally wherever. Yeah, that is... I would describe that as literally wherever. It is in the middle of nowhere. Why is that disabled? Oh, no network in range. Nah, let's not do that then. Let's just, they're not that expensive. Okay, red underground assembler near red belt assemblers. Okay, so this is where the most of our belt production is. And I realize we're actually, I think, overproducing red belt and underproducing red underground. The issue, oh, that's where I was going to do an underground belt expansion. That is unfortunate. That's fine. But this belt breaks that I was worried about. Wait, what does it break? Oh, yeah, if I try to swap those. I built these on the wrong layer. Yeah, it is unfortunate. This is where I did want a red underground belt production, so we need to make it... I guess we have this spot, right? Yeah, okay, it's not awful. The issue is red underground doesn't use red belt, right? It uses yellow belt. It's good now, though, right? That's the important thing. The current one is functional. And then this needs to be red underbelt. So the issue is this needs to be red underbelt. I don't think it necessarily needs to output to the base. Well, not to the base. I don't think this necessarily needs to output to the train. There we go. Those are the words I'm trying to say. Output to the train. I kept wanting to say outpost, and I could not say outpost because it's for the outpost. And for some reason, I just got super jumbled up. Okay, there we go. You think that coal belt is broken? Yeah, that's fair. Where did we break the coal belt? Should I just end this here? Hard to say. I'm checking. I think this seems to be good. I'm not sure which coal belt you're referring to. I mean, this one needs to be fixed. This is bot built, I think, but actually, this is one of the weird ones where technically it can be bot built, but it's probably going to be hand built. So I should design it around being hand built, so that way I can be lazier with my dragging. Well, that's going to be tricky. Hello, Fred. Welcome, welcome. What were you working on? We're doing some speed runs. Oh wait, no, 1,000 times multiplier, right? Yeah, we're doing some burner designs today, which is also chaos. It's just a different kind. Okay, so this is like a weird thing where I'm torn between making it better but for bots or making it something I can build by hand to get it started, which is a very weird balance to strike. Also, we need undergrounds. Okay, the undergrounds are actually the easy part. Okay, so that part I'm not worried about. Excellent. Undergrounds. Why am I building this on that stage? This is pretty important. We need it early. Okay, so undergrounds are here. I'm pretty sure undergrounds are buffered later. Okay, so now we just need to get undergrounds over here. Now these will run incredibly slowly. Actually, in fact, this is only a 50% increase in red belt production. That's not enough. I think we need 2 of these. I think we definitely need 2 of these. But how do we get the underbelt? I guess I could technically curve this. If this isn't built by hand, I can go around it. Yeah, we're in this this is like a really odd situation where this is technically hand built. So we can't mess with it that much to make it weird. I guess this part doesn't need to be hand built, right? So like I can fit... I can make this awkward. And do it here. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, okay, this is fine. No, this is good. And this, even if I do have to build this section by hand, it's not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. That's what we're accepting. Those are our standards these days. It could be worse. One of the many mantras of this run. Okay, now we need red belts. And I think that's good, right? Yeah, so we just combine this with gears and everything works. And then this, we might as well, make an underground there. That's slightly cheaper. Oof, this part needs to go up a tile. Okay, so this technically, so it's bad to grab from a corner, but as long as it's not self-feeding, it's not awful. We want to avoid it if we can, but it's not something we strictly have to avoid. Can I move this over a little bit? I mean, technically, we only need the undergrounds for one of them, but doing a 50-50 split is better. Hello, Carl Factorial. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a nice stream. I'm throwing my head at the wall right now, trying to figure out how to make burner stuff work. We're trying to go through, like, the mini task list that we had of a bunch of things that were... We need, like, one assembler, but we need them in really random spots. And it's a lot more complicated than I was wanting. You know what? I think we're gonna go with this design. Yeah, they should be able to grab from a corner, because they're gonna be... this will back up. That should be fine. Oh, that's true. We can move it down 2 tiles. That fixes the first corner. Wait, no it doesn't. What does that fix? Save on squiggles. Well, then you can use splitters. Can I? If I move it down a second tile, you're right. Oh, wait, we can't move it down a second tile. I don't think we can move it. We're limited on where the output can go. We can move it 1 tile. We can move 1 tile. That might give us something to work with. Let's try that. Does that fix anything? No. No, it does not. Does that fix anything? Well, technically that's better. Is that what we're rolling with? Is that our standard now? Technically it's better. I mean, this is all right. This will make the inserters will run a lot more consistently with this design, I think. So it's something. I mean, either way, we're using a red belt, right? If we could have this side-loaded 1 tile earlier, that would also fix it. But I think that would require some weird squiggles. Because then we could just have it go straight and then around. But hey, it's we won, but at what cost? Yeah. No, this is gonna cost me like 10 seconds from the entire run, I bet. From all the UPS loss from these 3 splitters. That's definitely how it works, right? I wonder if we can sideload early. Wait, does this work? Ooh. But that does work. That saves 3 splitters, but it adds a lot of entities. I don't know. I don't think the way we have it is bad. It just feels wrong, but it's very functional. I don't know why very functional is... maybe very functional is the wrong word. Technically functional. I mean, I guess technically functional is still pretty functional. 10 seconds will not be able to recoup our losses. Yeah, that's fair. Well, we're going to lose our... You're right, we are going to lose our record for fastest 100% run ever. Which is definitely viable. How are we missing... How do we have a blue... How do we have a blueprinted belt? That's bizarre. Anyway, red underground is similar. So this actually... I'm not going to say doubles because technically we have this one, but I don't think this has that many gears going towards it. So realistically, it's probably 30% more red belt. No. 50, no, 50, that's assuming this runs full speed. Maybe 70%? That seems reasonable, right? If you want to save the red underground belt, you can move the underground's 2 talos to the right. Yeah, we can save the underground if we want. The red underground if we want. Good point. Actually, for this one, we shouldn't even have a squiggle. That's reasonable. Okay. It looks worse, but it is technically better. Because, I mean, we should have enough red underground. We don't really use a ton of red underground, and we've been buffering it for like 20, 30 minutes by this point. But automate sirens literally wherever. Good. It does look worse, yes. Okay, should we make a decision that this one should be pretty because it's not that expensive? If I move the underground, oh yeah, that's true. It does look better if we do that. That's true. That's just better. I'm so used to maximizing undergrounds because usually that saves entities, but in this case it actually made it more expensive. Okay, this looks good. Yeah, this looks maybe not objectively good. It looks good for a burner inserter build. Okay. You know what? We don't need this. Let's make a chest. We have a lot of blueprints we don't need. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. This was a joke somebody sent me. We don't need that one. We can always look that up. That is not a blueprint we need. These probably aren't, but we're going to keep them. Anything that looks like it's actually something from my base, I want to keep. But, like, I have so many blueprints of half an underground from me just, like, copying something one time. Oh, we actually apparently use this one a lot if we have it on our hotbar. These ones might be on our hotbar. Let's not mess with those. These we don't need a lot of. A lot of these are just temporary. Oh, okay. If it's on our hotbar, I feel like we kind of need it. Oh, wait, never mind. This is also on our hotbar. It's good sushi? Oh, wait, has it become sushi? That's not good. I don't think I want that. This is something we don't need anymore. I think this was just me counting. Okay, rocket fuel we don't need. Wow, we've almost cleared up like an entire chest full of inventory space, though. That's nice. That's our... Oh yeah, I forgot. This is our new rocket fuel build. I'm really happy with that one, actually. Just delete them all. So some of them are like my outposts, and some of them are like my backup train station. So I would rather not. I don't want to delete my backup train station blueprint. These I know I can delete. These were like a test build. I can at least move them. We can move the rest of them to our game blueprint book. That seems reasonable, considering they're mostly just for here. Yeah, we can put them into a single book that's just backup. How did that lag it? Okay, there we go. That way, if they are useful, they're just hidden. Okay, inventory is full. Oh, right, it's because we're keeping them as filtered items. That's why a blueprint keeps appearing. Okay, everything's good again. Yeah, I guess I could have just compressed all of them. I was hoping maybe I would find a blueprint that I actually wanted in there. But most of them are just temporary, like, hey, we need a train station. Okay. Concrete. So concrete's a fun one because we need almost none of it. Like we need such little concrete. However, we do need some concrete. So bricks are over here and iron is over here and water is over here. So this seems like a very reasonable place to build concrete. I think that is a reasonable assumption. And we only need 1,000 total. So I think one assembling machine pretty early will do the job. Yeah, so if we have it as early as this stage, we should be fine. Now the issue is that I think we're gonna have... The issue is that concrete goes this way, not... Or bricks go this way, not this way. So we need to figure out how to reverse half of this and then also send it back. Yeah, we're almost done with today's goal. It was really just concrete, beacons, sirens, and the red assembler that I really wanted to do. Because those were like the 4 things we had like actually forgotten. After 8 belts, use supplemental fuel. Yes, I did that. So yeah, the only thing we're missing now is concrete for today's goal. So yeah, if once we get concrete, we're good. Iron is here. Bricks are here. How much does one concrete assembler produce per second? It's not much, right? Or it's a decent 0.75. So one concrete assembler is enough to launch a rocket within like 20 minutes after I build it. Little under that. Maybe more like 25. So do I think that one concrete assembler can build 1,000 concrete by the time I reach this much built? I think the answer is yes, right? That's a reasonable assumption if we start it this early. Yeah, I think that's fair. So that means we could technically just output from one of these. And that can supply enough bricks. And then we can just send it back. I think that works. Oh, we're building on the wrong layer though. Yep, okay, I think I can live with that. So this actually outputs here. Then I don't know if this is side-loaded in any way. I'm assuming steel gets side-loaded onto this, right? Oh no, steel comes from the other side. Okay, so it doesn't matter where bricks go. Wait, these bricks don't go anywhere else. Am I just assuming I'll be using these forever? I guess... Oh, these do go to our outpost. We haven't done that yet. Steel furnaces through base. We actually might need more steel furnace production. We need to count our outpost. We haven't calculated that. Okay, belt, splitter, underground, bricks. Okay, perfect. We got bricks, we got iron, and we got water. And we have more than enough concrete for all of our needs. To run one assembler. That's seems like such a crazy small amount. But I mean, I guess if it's all you need, it's all you need. That's not right. Move it up a tile. Move it up. Let's go as far over as we can go. Okay, and then a couple turns and we should be good. Okay, concrete should be done. Now we need fuel, which we can definitely just split off of here. Not at that point, but yeah, we can split off of here. I don't think that's gonna mess with our compressor at all. Why not water from the top? Good point. And then I guess this can go here, right? Yeah, that works. No, we just need to shift this over. Okay, and then output. And then technically this is safe enough because the belt ends. So yeah, this is a safe design as long as the belt stops there. I don't think it needs to be a pass provider, but we're going to make it one. So we do have to manually make a rocket silo in our base. That is something that will be done. I think that's something we can remember. Are you sure you can make 1K bricks within 4 hours? I hope so. I hope my math isn't so off that I can't calculate 1000 divided by 0.75. But yeah, it should finish it in about 20 minutes. Which is really fast. And we can always add another next to it, but one should be fine. My main... Oh wait, we need to prio it though. Actually, we don't technically need to prio it. Oh, we kind of do. We kind of do. We kind of need to prio it. Slightly. Otherwise, it will take us 25 minutes instead of 20 minutes to get our silo. I know, big losses there. Okay. So that's concrete. Yeah, I guess we could limit it. I wasn't too worried, but I guess there's no reason not to. What, unless I decide I want a second silo. Yeah, 20 minutes is really fast. These are speedrun numbers, man. That's fast. Compared to any other speedrun. If you ignore any other speedrun, of course. I like how we have this here specifically for Solaris. It feels, I don't know, it feels wrong. I don't know why I did that. Okay, but these should be connected, so we can delete these now. I'm fairly certain we routed those through the base. That's what this belt is. Okay, so what does a silo need? Concrete, pipe, electric engines, steel, and processing units. So none of that is anywhere close to anything. We'll need... Okay, so processing units are here. We could buffer 200 here. What else can we do? Actually, that will start buffering too late. We need to start buffering from this one. So yeah, it looks like we're just going to be running around our base trying to get 1,000, everything we need for the silo. So what we should really have is a spot maybe next to steel, because this is going to be the most annoying to get. Actually, we're going to have to hand feed this. We're going to have to hand feed it anyway. Because this will take way too... This will genuinely take 20 minutes to fill after we get silo research. Which might be a little bit too late. So maybe we just place it in a random spot, and then we just do this. This is limited by circuit network, right? Why is it so low, though? Oh, because these are paths providers. We just don't need that many of them. That makes sense. Yeah, and the first ones we do are hand-built. So yeah, I guess this makes sense. That's why we only have it set to 10, because we don't expand our base very often. And these craft fast. Okay. Yeah, this should work. If I really wanted to, I could start hand-feeding iron, hand-feeding steel, but it looks like we're just going to be running around filling it with stuff. So that means we need a processing unit chest, electric engine chest, and a pipe chest. All of those alone should be pretty easy to do. Oh, and a steel chest. I mean, I guess we do need a steel chest, right? I like how I say that as I'm next to a steel chest, but a different kind of steel chest. Because we don't necessarily have a steel buffer. That's one thing we did not make. So if we just have this buffering the whole time, I think that works. Oh, we don't have iron chest production. Because we don't need that many, but we do need iron chests. They're incredibly cheap. We also need steel chest production up north. But yeah, both of those are pretty cheap. Okay, so we need 1 stack of that. And then we'll definitely set it so that way once we get to the rocket silo stage, we switch the blueprint, right? Yeah, probably we'll have it set up like that. That was a mistake. I knew it ahead of time. Unfortunate. Okay. And then we want this buffering stuff as early as it can, so that would be here. Perfect. Okay. And then by the time we get to 4.2, we limit it, right? That's when the silo should be built. That's when we'll start grabbing stuff. Okay, that should be fine. That gives it 20 minutes to buffer. I think that's okay. Concrete's good. Honestly, blue chips, we can probably just run along the belt. Pipes and engines. Engines definitely need to be buffered. However, I don't know how to do that because they're on a sushi belt. How do I buffer these? Maybe I buffer the early ones. Oh, they're all on a sushi. Well, these aren't on a sushi belt. Okay, these ones aren't on a sushi belt yet. But this is hand built. This is hand built. How do I do this? I feel like this is something that should be really easy, but burner inserters. I mean, if I'm hand building it, can I do this? Will I remember to hand feed that? Because that almost works really well. I won't remember to hand feed that. The only reason I'll remember the silo is because that's a very obvious thing to do, but hand feeding some random inserter halfway through the run ain't happening. If only we had a filter. I mean, theoretically, 2 splitters in a row might not break the sushi. I've never tried, but I don't think it will work that well. Yeah, it's not a great option. If we reroute this, like if this pipe is in a different spot, does that change anything? No. Well, I could theoretically do pipe as like a little elbow. That lets me get this here, which doesn't simplify anything. But it does let me move this one tile to the left, which also doesn't simplify anything. What if I loop these? No, that's definitely not going to be faster. How fast does this produce? Maybe that's what I need to... Maybe that's the question I need to be asking myself. Oh. One is... Okay, so we need 200 over the course of like half an hour, right? If this is where I start producing them. So that means I need... If I have 2 of these going into a chest, that could theoretically work. So we do have... We do have this option. Just have 4 separate chests buffering electric engines. And they just all buffer to 50. This one, yeah, this one's not bad. Okay, I think we can roll with this one. That'll buffer 200. But yeah, between these, this will still take like 20 minutes, I think, which is why it's not the greatest option. I would much rather take from these because that can do it in 10, but it should be okay. That's a fair amount of time. My only issue with oh wait, isn't filtered until a later stage. That could cause problems. Probably won't, but if I try to build something early, it breaks stuff. Oh wait, oh we change it at a later stage. Hold up, that's not right. Which one's correct? I'm hoping that that one's the correct one. Yeah, because it has batteries on it. Okay, so it is supposed to have a filter. Okay, so the only thing this is missing is fueling for this chest, which I don't think is that tricky. We just kind of have to shift things up a little bit using a different stage, which is fine. So let's actually just build these all on a slightly earlier stage. So I'll be here, here, and then I could have sworn there were 4. 1, 2, 3. The 4th one is the one that we just deleted. Okay. So that would go here. We would have a splitter. We'd have an output. And we would have an underground. Okay, so this is what we're copying. And then we connect this by hand. Okay, so far so good. Move this up, connect it by hand. Move this up and connect it by hand. Okay, I think that's fine. That will buffer half of my bots for a while, which is a little bit, well, not half my bots for a while, about a third of my bots for 10 minutes. If I really wanted to, I could move the staging to a different point. Like, I could start buffering later. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I feel like I can probably move these to a much later stage. Like 3.1, something like that. Because this will buffer in like 20 minutes. And worst case scenario, I can probably just clear the belt. I think that would work too. I am impressed. Wait, this might not be a sushi build. I don't think this is technically sushi. So there is a possibility I could have filtered it at the end. Because like these are sushi, but they're not sushi on both sides. They're only sushi on one side. So there might have been a way to filter out the engine somewhere, but honestly, this is okay. How are they missing modules? I'm so confused. This mod confuses me sometimes. Like, I don't know how it can miss, like, entire, like, middle sections. Okay. So that's engines. Pipes, not something we have to worry about. Blue chips, we do not have buffered anywhere. Let's see. Stage cleanup? I think we fixed this. Yeah, that's just going to be an issue forever, I guess. Okay, so blue chips go down, over, down. Okay, so we can buffer blue chips here very easily. That is so unfortunate. We actually have to use extra entities here. Sorry, that's not right. I mean, the idea is right, but I did it wrong. I think we have to use extra entities to get fuel from this section if we want to make this work. Just because grabbing from corners. But this is considered safe. Then input. This might work. And then we can give this middle one logic to only output if there's 200 or something. We could also use a split. We could also use a splitter. Actually, let's do a splitter. Okay, then we don't have to worry about the output. We don't need this. Okay. And this buffers 200. Perfect. And if I wanted to use combinators, I could, if I have combinators by this point. I don't have combinators by this point. Never mind. I was going to say we could add a combinator here that counts and then disables these after 100, but 200, but we can't do that for any of them. Hello, Kwasamasi. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is a long-running project that I've been working on. We're just doing like a lot of the small tasks now because we're definitely getting close. We got concrete. We have everything we need for silo that's hard to get, right? It's buffered like all around my base, which is incredibly annoying, but that's fine. Honestly, we should probably be buffering steel closer to the rocket, but I don't think we have to worry about it. Pipes, electric engines, processing units, concrete. Okay, all of those are in buffer chests. And then we can drop them here. And honestly, we don't even have to feed this. This has enough starter fuel that it can actually produce once. So yeah, that'll be hand-fed or handcrafted. A little bit more manual than I would like, but not a great way to get stuff through our base at this point. Not everything we need for a rocket silo at least. Also, burner inserters are so bad they struggle to fill an assembly machine reasonably. Why do we have so many sections where we're missing modules in these assemblers? It's really fun. No, I definitely enjoy it. I don't think of it as a pain at all. Otherwise, I definitely would not have spent like 100 hours designing a base. I think it's a really fun like just design challenge because you have to think about burner inserters so much differently because the limitations you have are just way different than with electricity. Like burner inserters struggle to grab some belts if they're oriented certain ways. You obviously have to think about logistics of fueling, so it's fun. The run is going to be really long, but that's why we're doing the blueprints ahead of time, so I can actually do it in one setting. Because if we had to do this with a not pre-designed blueprint, it would take about 20 plus hours to do in one go, which would be a bit much. Okay, I think that's all I had for today, though. Well, I have iron chests on the list. That's... Oh, wait, never mind, we're good. I thought we hadn't done iron chests. Never mind. That's fine, then. Okay, so that's everything I was missing in production, right? And then we technically don't have steel chests over here, so... I'm just going to make the assembly machine so I don't forget. But yeah, we need a steel chest assembler. Actually, we probably need multiple steel chest assemblers. That's it for me today. I will be back Saturday? Maybe. So there's more stuff with family this weekend, so my schedule is a little bit weird. Friday I can't do it all. Or I doubt I can do it all. Saturday, I don't think they're coming over until the evening, so I should still be able to do a stream. It's just going to be a shorter, like 2-hour stream, not 3 hours. But I should be streaming Saturday. And then after that, I think my schedule goes back to normal for a while again. But this weekend is just a lot of stuff fell on this weekend, so my stream schedule will be unusual. I will post any changes in my Discord stream schedule. I'll announce if I'm not streaming that day. Probably in the morning when I wake up and actually have more details. But hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.